a party became very inventive and changed the very nature of a trap. Welcome to my channel. I focus on tabletop role-playing games, video games, and science fiction. Years ago, I ran the gaming section of some local science fiction conventions. I was back in Salt Lake, and there was Intervention Alpha, Beta, and Gamma before various things, and that set of conventions went away. I believe it was in Intervention Gamma. I was running the Dungeons and Dragons adventures, and what happened is people would, I think it cost $2 to play a game, and we'd take in the money and bought trophies and various things and pizza for all the DMs, because that's a lot of work when you're DM constantly. And we had a lot of people turned out for that. It was a lot of fun. And I created a dungeon. That's a tournament dungeon, which is a little bit different because you're pressed for time, and the idea is who can accomplish the most of the challenges. And the parties were relatively high level at this. This, I think, was the second adventure part of the game, and the party could buy a whole bunch of stuff. And we were playing first edition, I'm pretty sure, because I pulled down my first edition. And what one of the parties did was they bought a potion called Oil of Etherealness. Now, I'm going to read this. This potion is actually a light oil which is applied externally to the dressed and exposed flesh. It contains etherealness. In the ethereal state, the individual can pass through solid objects sideways, upward, downward, or to different planes. Anyway, that's part of the description. The party had bought Oil of Etherealness for all the adventurers, so they could just bypass everything. They thought that they would be somewhat invulnerable. Well, normally they would have been. However, I had invented a trap, and the party did something really unexpected. A friend of mine, and I wish I could find the drawing, it's somewhere up on the shelves, I'm pretty sure. It was a large electrical trap. It would cause a massive electrical arc. It would actually work out, what is the power supply? And the power supply was this massive acid-based battery. We had gold and platinum electrodes going into it, and it was this big, massive vat of acid that when you did something, it would drop the electrodes down in and fry the party. That was the idea. Well, Oil of Etherealness changed this. So instead of coming through the way I'd sort of planned and expected, they came through the solid rock up to the bottom, and they see the bottom of this large pool. Now, I had descriptions of it, that it was this acid barrier, there was a layer of glass to keep it from dissolving through into that. And it was listed as very strong acid, corrosive, that would immediately dissolve all flesh and bone as soon as you put anything into it. And that was the description. I actually had and a friend of mine had drawn it up. He liked this trap, and he had actually drawn up. He was an artist. I can't find it, but it was all designed there. So instead of going down the hallway and getting electrocuted, the party decided to go up through the bottom of the trap. Now, Oil of Etherealness, they argued that their rule lawyers were fighting, saying that it shouldn't destroy that. But Oil of Etherealness is removed by a light acid. And I said the only argument you could make is that a light acid reacts different than a strong acid. Because their argument is like vinegar or sour wine would remove Oil of Etherealness. And I go, well, if it's weak acid or a light acid will remove it, the strong acid also should remove it. So the Oil of Etherealness was removed by the acid, and the party immediately died. They died all instantly by going up through. So here was a trap where I'd set up one kind of trap, which worked for, quote, shall we say, mere mortals. Walking down the hallway would have been fried by an electrical trap, but the party walked through the bottom of the trap in Oil of Etherealness and died instantly. So it was, shall we say, an interesting argument. People were very, very upset because they died, but it was, and they lost the tournament. But it was a lot of fun because it wasn't what I expected. You have to be prepared when you're running some dungeons, when you have higher level characters, that they will do some things that you don't expect. I hope you enjoyed this story about a trap gone very wrong. Thank you. I look forward to learning what you think about this video. Let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here and would like to subscribe, you can click on the icon on the left. If you're interested, there's some more content that you can link to on the right. Thank you.